today I am here with Karl Mundt, who is phenomenal. He is the owner of Innovate Dance, and I think it's www.innovatedance.com. Check him out. He is a wonderful choreographer. He is the brains behind the University of Minnesota Jazz Choreography. Amazing, amongst many other talented teams like BYU and several other really successful programs. So I am so excited to hear Karl's answers to your questions. Perfect. Okay, so the first question is from Anonymous. They didn't want to be known. How do you market yourself as a choreographer as opposed to a dancer or a performer?
Well, I think, if for me personally, it's been, I've been doing this. This is actually going on my 20th season. I can't believe how fast the time goes by.
Yeah.
And so what I think is important is for dancers who are interested in becoming choreographers, maybe they're just starting out, is to know their market. That's if I'm hiring someone to do a piece for, say, my studio or for my team, I want more than just to see the choreographer dancing their own work, if that makes sense. So I think it's important when you're to know your market. So if you're trying to be a dance team choreographer, you need to show your work in that setting. And if you're just starting out, I know that can be really tricky because someone might not hire you without having that experience. And I know for when I first started out and I knew I wanted to be a choreographer, I got a group of friends together and I did we had the old school VHS video camera, but I did 30-second clips of different material. And not only that, but I also showed, I think it's important to show the layering and the things that are, important in whatever market you're looking at. And that might mean you have to volunteer your time, at first, just to get that material on video. I mean, I think there's so many avenues to share it, but you should share it, especially now. Exactly. And it could even, I think I just did something on my Instagram where I think, you find that perfect 15-second clip.
Yeah.
And I think that it's so easy to use these editing tools, but that it's really important that you know your market and that the people potentially hiring you want to see, hey, do they have good layering? How's their staging? How do they tell a story? But people want to see what you're capable of.
Yeah, so I see a lot of, kind of young upcoming choreographers on Instagram or whatever, and it's like, there's 25 videos of you.
Exactly. And I think it's like you're showing that you're a good dancer. And I think, to be a good choreographer, you have to put yourself aside, if that makes sense. Share your message, be inspiring. So if you want to put yourself on the video, do it in a class setting or have someone video you teaching a short combination or actually working with the dancers. Right. It's one to be a talented dancer and even a talented mover and have creative ideas, but you need to make sure you can show that you're able to translate that into what you can do with other people.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. All right, ready for the second one?
I'm ready.
This is anonymous also.
Okay.
What's the one thing you wish you could change about the dance competition world? Which, let's see if you can pick one.
I know, I might have to pick more than one. There's a couple things, but one, just in terms of a logistics thing, is I work a lot in the collegiate world, and in the UDA world, for example, their big collegiate event is in January.
Right.
And a lot of times the teams that are participating in that, they also are participating and performing for their sports program. So football season's big. So much of their time is going into that, which I think is great. And I know a lot of the dancers really love it. But then when you really get a chance to compete, you have this one event, maybe two, that you go to. So you put all this time and energy and money into the choreography. And what are your thoughts on?
I agree with that. The options are definitely slim. And I don't know if people even understand all that goes into it.
Oh, I know.
Side, it's months and months and months, and then you go through all this costume design, and then music editing and choreography, and then boom, it's over in 2 minutes.
Good. Another thing, if I may share one other thing, um, I feel like there's just been so much emphasis put on turns, and more specifically turn sequences.
Yeah.
And I know, I'm a part of that too. And I'm fortunate that I have a few teams that I work with that are really strong in that area. So in some ways I think, oh, that's great. But I think the trend in recent years to be, oh, it has to be longer. You need to do a 3 or 4 8 count sequence. And then they're doing 2, sometimes 3 sequences just
Yeah.
I think it gets a little, to be honest, it can get a little redundant. I think it takes away from the creativity aspect because while I do think it's great to showcase turns and turn combinations, of course, it's part of the sport aspect of dance as well. I think, if I may, say it's getting to a point where it's eating up more of the routine than I would like to see. And I think people can be afraid of that. They can be afraid to say, oh, I don't want to do it because this team's doing, all these things, and are we going to be judged differently? And there's no guidelines that say you have to do it, at least not for the competitions I attend. So
to me, it's not as organic as it could be.
I 100% agree. And that's one of the things, when I've done work in the studio world, which I don't do as much, but when I have those opportunities, it's really nice to, it's certainly there are groups that do it, but it's not emphasized as much. And I like it because then you don't feel like it's compulsory, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, no, I love that. So last one. I didn't know if we would get to 3 questions or not, but this is awesome. So this is from Trish.
Trish, we got a name, yay.
And she wants to know, what do you feel about the push for dance team to become an official sport? Do you think it'll help or hinder the growth of dance team? That's a huge topic, everybody.
That is a huge topic, but I definitely, am happy to address it. I think, the one organization right now, the ICU, I believe that's the International Cheer Union, is the governing body right now that they are looking at in terms of making dance and cheer an Olympic sport, which I know both of us have worked with teams that have competed in that. And I love that idea. I mean, to be able to say I've worked with the team that got to go to the Olympics would be such a huge honor and goal that would be an ultimate goal to achieve. But I think the thing that's really important is that dance is inherently a performance art, and that the art and athleticism should be, they should be blended together in a way that makes sense. I mean, it kind of goes back to what we were talking about with the turns, that, you want to show that athleticism, you want to show, the mastery of the skills and synchronization and polish and all of that, which I think can lend itself to both sport and art, but that if we get too far away from the art, then to me, it's, that's the slippery slope. That I don't want those worlds to be mutually exclusive, that they should be melded together.
And I know, like, just at the state level, several states have made dance and cheer sports, and it does change, some of the integrity of the art. I think it's, positives and negatives to everything. Thank you so much for doing this and volunteering your time, carving out some time for me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Toya.
Thank you for watching. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at T.R.A. Choreo, and check out our website, www.toyarenee.com.